What's up, guys? Back with another update video. Bitcoin, big day today, touched $40,000, sitting right under it right now, right before that weekly close in about 9 minutes. And we have not been back up to this level since April of 2022, back when that bear market started. And then all year, pre-halving year, we've just been trailing our way up, had that Q3 sell-off. This is where I accumulated most of my altcoins, Ethereum. And ever since then, ever since that October leading into these Bitcoin spot ETFs coming in, I think the deadline is January, beginning of January. And then the halving is next in April. All right, leading into these events, we've had just nonstop run up. So looking at Bitcoin, we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 green weeks in a row. This was right when all the ETF hype was happening. Everyone was talking about it. We started taking off, and we have not stopped since. So same thing with Ethereum. Ethereum's been trailing its way up, looking good. We had one red week since that all started, but just broke a huge level that we have not been above since May 2022. All right, so big week for Ethereum. Obviously, been some big weeks for Bitcoin. Now that it's coming into that 42K range, it's going to be a little bit harder to determine what's going to happen from here. But Ethereum getting above this level, we got a weekly close in about 7 minutes. Us closing above this level, us taking out this high from the earlier this year is a big deal because we have not been above this level since May of 2022, and now we're crushing it. We're breaking through it. So going to be a big closure on here today, and going to keep my eye on this one for sure. I would like to see it break above, kind of retest a little bit, or Bitcoin didn't even have any retests. It just absolutely took off. However, ETH is moving a little bit slower. Why is that? Well, Bitcoin always leads the rallies, as we can see. Bitcoin's been crushing it percentage-wise this year. If we go all the way to early January, it's not exact, but about up 140, 150%. Ethereum, we go to see where that started in early January. It's only up 84%. And that's because Bitcoin dominance is up. Bitcoin has been the one leading the show. So ETH and alts will have their turn. They've had many little rallies in between, especially the altcoins. Some altcoins with narratives behind them, the AI, the gaming coins, they've been running a bit harder than other ones. So it really just is dependent on the narratives when it comes to altcoins specifically. Most of them have ran as an entire whole, but obviously some have ran way more percentage-wise than the next. So that's something to keep in mind when you're selecting altcoins, because it's all about narratives. We can see right here, AI, gaming, those are the ones that have been the top winners. All right, you can pull up any AI coin, compare it to some of the coins from last cycle. Not all of them, but I'm pretty sure if you went 1-on-1 with each other, you would see that AI is outperforming most stuff, as well as gaming. So that's something to keep in mind. But what I really wanted to talk about today was the total market caps, because this is something that I have used as a confluence, as an indicator to determine what's going to happen going forward. I don't post videos too often right now, but I use that. I use this total market cap, which is the entire crypto market cap, right? So your Bitcoin, your Ethereum, your top altcoins on the 100 list, right? That is what the total market cap indicates. So fell below this level, or fell below this support that held the summer lows back here in June of 2022 when exchanges were going down. Then in 2023, we tried to break this level once, twice. Now leading into this next year, We have big events like spot ETFs for Bitcoin. Those deadlines are coming up. And then we also have Bitcoin halving. All right. So leading up into that, Bitcoin broke out of its range. Then total crypto market cap, when it got up to here, we talked about this in a previous video. If you go and look back, this thing was coming right here. We said once this breaks this level right here, this red box breaks this high, it's going to take off. What happened? We took off. Altcoins took off. Ethereum took off. Everything as a whole market, because this is the total crypto market cap, took off. And then came up into here, had a bunch of chop for a while, and then finally this broke out. So this is the accumulation schematic that I have noticed. I've actually found this from a YouTuber called Blockchain Backer. He's really good with larger scale fractals and schematics, stuff like this. I don't look too much on this too frequently because it doesn't happen too often. I tend to stay on the daily, the weekly, the 3-day charts, 2-day charts, the bigger time frames. But he did break this down pretty well. So this was the schematic that he pulled up on the total 3, and kind of showed that this was happening with that sell-off right here, kind of going back and forth, a little bit of a bounce. This is that accumulation zone, ST phase B coming down here. All right, this is all the way from 2022 to now. So just a lot of chop and of accumulation all back and forth. Then we got up to this point right here, which I was seeing that we were just chopping back and forth on here on the weekly and daily time frames. All right, so we're just going back and forth, which we were just sitting on support the whole time. So it wasn't anything really to worry about, building before that next move up. If you're in my exclusive chat, you definitely saw that. If you are in the free Telegram, I posted a clip that I posted in the exclusive chat that I was kind of waiting for this to happen, this back and forth movement before breaking out. And that's what we saw most recently. So this broke out. Now what happened? Bitcoin breaks out of its range right here. Wasn't too much of a range because never came back down and tested this, but I would say it broke out of this resistance right here. Okay. So broke out of this resistance. Now it's at testing that 40K range. ETH breaks out of this. And why is that? Well, total market cap broke out of this, pushing higher. So majority of the market, the bigger players, they're breaking out. All right. Total 2's trying to break out right now. This is excluding Bitcoin. This is ETH and altcoins trying to break out, but same thing, was just sitting on support right here, chopping back and forth, confusing a lot of people for the past couple of weeks. Now total 3 is our altcoin chart. This is our altcoin market cap chart. So what I saw with total right here, right? We were, if I put this on the daily time frame, I want you to focus right here. I'll circle it for y'all. All right. Put on the daily time frame. What were we doing? We were just going back and forth, setting up for a move higher. Now, what's the total 3 doing? Well, it's doing the exact same thing, right? It's doing the exact same thing. So it's building, consolidating. Why? What is it doing this for? Well, usually it's building that consolidation on support to confirm that before making its move higher. Sometimes it just takes a little bit of a time. It doesn't just go up in a straight line all the time, even though it has. So all the people that were getting in a little bit late, or they just saw this most recently, they were getting a bit impatient because they thought everything was just supposed to go up nonstop. I think we're just going nonstop up in a bull market, but it doesn't necessarily work. It doesn't necessarily work that way on every time frame. All right, there's going to be pauses, there's going to be stalls, there's going to be pullbacks, and we haven't even seen much of any pullbacks at all. So right now, what I'm expecting, this thing to just keep going sideways as long as Bitcoin, ETH hold up the totals, and eventually it'll probably break out like following this right here, the total breaking out like that. We'll probably see something similar with this, which means altcoins will probably run next. All right, if the total 3 breaks out. So That's what I'm seeing on the total market caps. Everything's been looking fine. All right. I was going to make a video a bit earlier this week and show this with the totals, but it doesn't really matter. All right. It happened the way we wanted it to. And yeah, this schematic's playing out. So this shows continuation, phase E pushing on further. And that's what this is right here. That build up right before it breaks out, just barely broke out. And then you're seeing that on the altcoin market cap as well, waiting for it to break out. So might be some more movement in the altcoin market cap soon, as long as everything else holds up. So that is dependent on a lot of factors. However, I'm just showing you what I'm seeing with the total, what I saw with this, and seeing that sit on support for days on weeks. All right. So a lot of good stuff going into the market, but we do have those spot ETFs coming up, right? A little bit over a month away. And those deadlines, that deadline for the spot ETF for Bitcoin is a big deal. So as we get closer to it, I'm more and more less certain with what's going to happen in the short term, just because when it gets to this event, we've never had a spot ETF before. Usually when we see big news events like this, we'll run up into them and then we'll sell off. I'm not sure if that's going to be the case this time. All right. I don't have a crystal ball. I can only go off of history and what I've seen in the past. So, it's really anyone's guess that what's going to happen once we get to here. But I do know we have been in accumulation for a long time. I do know that we've been following this accumulation schematic for a long time. And I also know that the Bitcoin halving is coming up, which a lot of people were waiting to accumulate until here, this Bitcoin halving, but you just missed out on a huge rally on Bitcoin. You missed out on buying the lows on ETH off this huge channel that we called out all the way back earlier this year, where we saw a touch here all the way back in 2016. All right, that was the bottom for ETH. We saw a touch back here, Corona, March 2020. And then we were buying the exact bottom here before running up, and now ETH is putting in highs for the year. So bought the bottom of ETH on a technical scale, looking at this trend line, right? Obviously it went lower here, but on a technical scale right here with this trend line, we literally bought the bottom, called the Q3 sell-off. Called the Q3 sell-off back here, started accumulating. Why? Because of narratives. Everything started pushing up. Same thing for ETH. Same for altcoins. So that's what I've been seeing right now. I expect continuation going forward into the event unless something changes a little bit earlier. If they get approved earlier, not really sure. But as we go into it, the actual spot ETF deadline, I really don't know what's going to happen. No one does. They can tell you they know. It's really just a guessing game. They don't know. No one does. So another confluence I'm seeing right now is the USDT dominance chart. This is a confluence I've used before in the past. This chart, when you go up, basically means people are going into dollars. They're going into USDT. They're selling their Bitcoin and ETH. All right. They're selling their altcoins and it's going into USDT. So over here, this was that 2020 COVID crash, which we can see a huge candle right here. Why did that happen? Well, this was that was a 100% move because it was a huge sell-off event. All right. Then we came back down. People started buying a bit, sold off. This was the sell-off before the rally into all-time highs for Bitcoin. Started pushing. Then we just had that rounded top. Couldn't break this down here, this level. Fell all the way back down here with that Elon Musk news about Bitcoin mining. Tesla no longer accepting Bitcoin, whatever. All right. All those events. China FUD fell down here, held the summer lows before going back up when Jack Dorsey, Cathie Wood, Elon Musk all went on I don't know what it was, podcast. I don't even know what it was. Some interview, talked about how great Bitcoin was, talked about SpaceX buying Bitcoin, all that good stuff. What did that do? Sent it all the way up here. Then everyone got excited. They were trying to get back in. Bear market started. This is where I sold. All right. Then we had the bear market. We started here, coming down to this level. Finally, we broke through this level. Why did we break through here? That Luna crash, the UST stuff happening, broke through. All right. Then fell even further with all the exchanges going down. Celsius, BlockFi, Voyager, right? All of this. And it's all mapped out, you can see. But, all right, that had that capitulation event. What happened after that capitulation event? Got bought up a bit. Then kind of just started trending down again, trending down. All right. What happened here? FTX crash. Another capitulation event. People start buying up. Then we're knocking on this door all year long, just touching it. All right, people were buying, starting to buy again. This was SEC sues Coinbase, Binance, another event, falls off, Q3 sell-off. This is where we called that based on time frames and narratives, started buying, and then the market has just been pushing right here, and now we're sitting right here trying to break through this. So if we do break through this and we do come through to test this level, this is knocking on the bull market level in my opinion. And breaking through this is just pretty significant because we've been stuck under here since May of 2022 basically. Had a little pop above, but don't really count that. But this has just been consistent tapping on this over and over and over again to finally push through here. And then when we break through here, it's going to be I think it'll be bull market time for sure. But this chart does change a bit just because the amount of money that comes into the market, like you can see all the way down here. All right, we're at 1.5% USDT dominance. Right? So, as more money comes in this market, USDT, just across the board, this chart kind of changes over time. Just like the Bitcoin dominance chart, with Bitcoin dominance being so high in the past, not sure if it's going to get that high again. So keep that in mind when you're looking at this, but I'm just watching the bigger levels to see when they break. And this is a big level that has been stuck here, and we are just on the verge of breaking out of this. Just like over here with the Luna UST crash, that was the event that pushed us through. Now, could the event that pushes us through here be the Bitcoin spot ETF? I'm not sure, but that is something to keep in mind. All right. But as far as altcoins, what I'm accumulating, what I have accumulated, I'm really just focusing on the narratives, AI, gaming. All right. Those are the coins that I have focused on, and I'll show you one. For example, that my exclusive group that I called out for long term. This is MC. This is what I called out about a month plus ago now. It is now called Beam. They had a little bit of a switch in token name, but I'll go ahead and show this anyways, just to show you. So this is a gaming coin, right? It is in that category. And wish I bought more, but I'll show you live right here. I put $20,000 into MC. All right, put $20,000 in MC. It's now Beam. You can see that. So up over 100% right now, coming close to 200%. If you were in the free Telegram, you definitely seen this. So this is just what I'm making reference to. Up 35,000 plus right now, and going to be holding this for long term. So this is one of my long terms. No, I don't usually keep these coins on exchanges. This will most likely be moved off soon. This is just one of the ones that I haven't moved off, and this is a very, very small portion of my portfolio. So no, I didn't go all in on this. This is just an example of me showing this right here with proof that I bought it, right? Because now you can see here that this coin has been outperforming most coins in the market when it comes to across the crypto total market cap, or sorry, coin market cap's top, whatever, 100, 125 coins. MC was just starting to breach into that top, I think 150, 125. I'm not even sure. Let's see if we can find it. Beam right here. It's in 91 now. So it's been moving up past 7 days, up 30%. US, if you're buying this, you're gambling. All right. Yeah, if I don't want to go through all these AI coins today, and we can look up that for a different video, but make sure what you're buying isn't just something you've heard about last cycle. Yes, your ADA is going to do well, but it's not going to do the returns it did before because the market cap's sitting at almost 14 billion right now, and last cycle at the beginning was at 100 to 200 million. So don't think you're buying this and it's going to do the same 50, 100x it did last cycle. I think it did even more. Could be wrong, but you need to find things with narratives. You need to find stuff that is popping. All right. Same with last cycle. It was the same thing. You want to find the narratives for your altcoins. You don't want to just buy the old stuff because it used to work before. Some of them you can buy. That's fine if you're looking for, a good 5 to 10x, which I can't promise that either, but I'm just looking at the past, trying to find out what's going to happen for this cycle, and that's what I've seen. The narratives are the ones that lead the most percentage-wise this cycle. This is just one example. This is a gaming coin. I used a bunch of different things going into this. So this was a gaming coin. That was one check mark on my list. Second check mark off my list was it's promoted and being promoted by someone I truly believe in. He is one of the biggest crypto people on Twitter. He's a part of the project. So that was my second check off here. And then looked at the market cap, looked at the history. That was my third check mark. Not going to really get too much into detail for that. And then I used TA. I saw that there was resistance right here. This is what I was waiting for. That's why I didn't buy all the way down here. When I first started to see it, waited a little bit, which, I wish I did buy a little bit before. Doesn't matter, almost up 2x. But resistance here, breaks through that resistance, retest. This is where I entered, took off, almost up 2x. This is one coin that's in my long-term portfolio. No, I'm not saying to go buy it right now. I bought it all the way down here. I'm just showing you what I did for my call out in the exclusive group. So, and then this was proof. All right. And that will be moved off this exchange pretty soon. All right. So that's that. That's that for the video. Just a little update. Bitcoin or ETH breaking out of this huge level that it has been under the entire year. Finally breaking above. Closure for the week just happened. You can see that new weekly candle just opened. 40K. All right. 40K Bitcoin plus. Crazy. Can't believe I timed all this. Can't believe it. So, gonna keep going. Gonna take things week to week. But I'm up big. I'm up pretty big. I waited a long time for this. So, if you want to join my free Telegram, I'll post it. But yeah, this is pretty much it. So hope you all have a good week. Hope everyone's doing good with their crypto earnings. If you're just getting started, you got time, I believe. Just don't chase anything. Don't FOMO into anything. I'd wait for a pullback and focus on narratives. All right.